Here I am writing my essay for a history class when I get distracted and I pull up my YouTube analytics. And guess what I see? 118 views. I posted this video on Monday expecting it to get like 30 to 50 views because I don't get that many. And I pull it up, and what do I see? 118. I cannot thank you enough, guys. I cannot. I over 100 views. That is amazing. So I was scrolling through the comments, and someone asked to see the chess game I played with the brilliant move. And so here's the chess game. I will show you the chess game. And I've always wanted to say this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this video of me looking at my chess game. How do I this is not a good start. Well, okay, here we go. The game starts off pretty simply, pretty normally with e4. I'm playing white pieces, by the way. This is just your classic opening. I don't know. Just you just do it, you know? It's just nice and easy. So I think this is like the Sicilian or like knight, or I don't even know. I don't know openings very well. I just play good moves. Okay. So the chess game starts, and I'm just developing. I'm just developing. Oh my gosh! I'm developing my pieces, getting my knight out, getting my bishop out, and I like to have the least amount of pieces on the board. And usually, it's not a good idea to trade pieces early on, get rid of all your pieces. But I like to do it because the less pieces there are on the board, the less chances I have of getting, checkmated. So I trade the bishops. I develop my knight. And he continues to play some moves. I push my pawn up to attack the knight. Also, I am no chess master. This is my daily rating, not my bullet or rapid. I honestly am not that good at chess. Okay, someday I will become a master, but that day is not today or anytime soon. But it's fine. Okay, I don't really know what I'm talking about, so you know, just just watch the video. So I continue to make preparation moves, opening moves. I don't know. Is it the opening middle game? Maybe. I'm attacking his knight a little bit. We both made questionable moves, but that's fine. We both don't know what we're doing. Yeah. I right here. I trade the pawn because I like trading, and I guess that wasn't a good move. I guess I was supposed to move my knight back to e2. I don't know why, but I attack the bishop on b4. So he castles. I move my queen. We're just gonna skip. I trade queens. Trading queens is so much easier, guys. If you have a chance to trade queens, don't listen to me, but also listen to me. Trade the queens. They suck. They're super good, but they're also horrible because if you both have queens and you're the worst player, you're gonna lose. But if none of you have queens and you're the worst player, you might have a chance because they don't have their best piece. So I trade queens. I guess that's a bad move. I totally missed I could take the rook with my knight. I did not see that. But it eventually works out, and I do eventually get the rook. And I protect that pawn from the double threat. Continue to make some moves, take the pawn over there. Yeah, save my pawn. And then it gets taken. I guess that's a bad move too. I should have moved my rook, which I can kind of see why. But I didn't want this pawn on c2 to get taken by the rook over there. So anyway, so I get checked. I move my king. My rook gets taken, unfortunately. I did not see that. But it's fine. Yeah, moves are played. I get the knight back. Yeah, he blunders his pawn, and so I take his rook. That's a rook, right? Yeah, I take his rook. That was good. I won it back eventually. So now I'm kind of scared that oh, this pawn on a3 is gonna queen eventually. It doesn't, but a little worrying. So I move my king um, to kind of protect. So they're kind of locked in a battle, these three. Because if he moves, then I take. Then I can just take back again. Um, but if I move anywhere, really, then he can probably castle or queen. Which so my king's kind of stuck there, unless I go there. Um, so at about right right here, right here is when I really lock in because I realize I'm down pieces. I'm not. I'm down pawns. And in an endgame, pawns are really important so you can get a queen or a rook or whatever other piece. And so right here, I realize I have to like actually do good on this game if I even want a chance to draw. By this point, I realize that winning the game is probably not possible, but drawing the game is fine because it's not losing. So, oh, someone's texting me. Okay, so right here, I move here because if he takes the pawn, then obviously he can't because that would be moving into a check. So he moves to his king moves to e4, and I'm thinking, what could I do? Could I go there, there? Because if I go here, then maybe I could do this if he takes the pawn, or go somewhere over here. Um, I don't do any of that. I moved my pawn, and I guess that's a blunder. That's a horrible move. I guess because he can take my knight. I don't see that as bad though, because if he takes my knight, then I can take that, and then he moves out of the way for this pawn. But by then I'm just queened, and I have a queen. So I don't kind of really understand how that's a blunder. But the computer says it is. So after I do that, then he takes the pawn, and right here I'm like, oh yes, okay, he's falling into my master plan because after he does that, then I take his pawn. Um, and he's too far away to get to me with his king before I impart my master plan. So he moves his pawn up, and I move my king. I don't really know why. He gets closer to take my knight on d3, but I move out of the way and put him in check. And right here, I'm like, okay, he's probably going to go take my pawn, which is good because right here I can take his pawn on e6, put him in check, and he'll go there, go to G G3 to take my pawn, um, which I take his pawn and he moves. And I'm like, okay, this is great. So I go there. I go to G7 with my knight, and I was supposed to go to G5, but I didn't really want to do that because then he couldn't take my pawn and taking my pawn because I wanted him to take my pawn so he could get far enough away so I could make a run for it and take his pawn on d5. Because if he didn't, then I would go there, and he would go there. Then I don't know, but I was hoping he would take my pawn, and it all worked out. He takes my pawn, and right here I'm like, okay, this is good. I go there, and so he can't really do anything. Because if he goes there, then okay. So moving on. Okay, so he moves his king to g4, and I thought, well, this is good um because it's my turn, so he can't take my knight. So if I take, then he takes, then I move here, then he moves there, and then I take, and it's a draw. Simple. If I go somewhere like I don't know here, then he just pushes and I lose because he gets a queen. So the only move I see is well, I can only really go there, and I get the brilliance. Oh my gosh! I can't believe I'm so glad I let him take my pawn over there because I couldn't have gotten this. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, uh-oh. What did I just do? Hold on. Wait. Technical difficulties. Look at this. Look at this. Brilliant. That's beautiful. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Oh my goodness. I get my first brilliant. I sacrificed the knight. I sacrificed. It was, and if he didn't take it, then I would go there, or yeah, he would go here. I would go there. I would go there, and then he would go there, and I couldn't take the pawn because he would be guarding it with his king. But I thought, you know what? Let's just sacrifice the knight and hope he takes it, and he takes it, saving me the game. And it's a draw. It's not a win, but it's a draw. But that's a win in my eyes, and I win the game. And it happens, guys. I got my first brilliant. So after 400 some games, I get the rarest move in chess. So that's pretty awesome. You guys should go play some chess. I'm gonna go finish writing my essay for English. Actually, I have two essays to write for English. And he's gonna choose a random one. Because I guess that's how he does it. So I have 12 days to write two essays, and then I have a third essay for English that I have to do as well on the monkey's paw. That one shouldn't be that hard though. So I'll see you. See you. Go get some homework done if you have any. Go play some chess. I'm gonna go back and do some homework. And you're welcome to that one guy who commented. Yeah, comment some more. It's fun. Go play some chess. I'm gonna go back and do some homework. And you're welcome to that one guy who commented. Yeah, comment some more. It's fun.